As of the uploading of this video, Sonic Generations came out 10 years ago. From an early age, I was exposed to the internet. In my early days, before my experience with the web devolved into a mess of absorbed information and untold psychological damage, it revealed to me a whole list of things. Subjects, ideas, and series that would stick with me for years to come. Among these was Sonic the Hedgehog. From the hours spent watching the cutscenes of Sonic 06 and Sonic Unleashed, my periods of infatuation with Sonic Dash, Sonic CD, my time listening to the music and participating in Sonic roleplays, and then even collecting all the games on Steam, there's a lot of Sonic stories that I'd love to tell someday. But today is reserved. On April 7th, 2011, one moment changed everything. Now, while my memory of the time is fuzzy, I distinctly remember watching the initial trailer for Generations. Now, whether I watched it before or after the game actually released, I do not know. But it was so distinctly memorable. In one instant, the entire future of Sonic as a franchise was changed, for better or worse. But that's a topic for another time. I want to focus on what I just said before, that memorability. Sonic, as a character and as a franchise, is many things. But there's one thing it almost never is. Forgettable. The actual game's quality notwithstanding, they grab your attention, and once they have it, they don't let go. It's why, despite everything the franchise goes through, it perseveres. We keep coming back to Sonic, even with games considered broken, an extended cast criticized, and stories found laughable. They still pop up in your head, don't they? Unless you're just here out of spite, in which case, sorry, this video probably won't be very interesting. I'd love to be able to turn this into a legitimate review of the game, but I've unfortunately found myself with very little time, so I'll try my best to at least give you something. When it comes to memorability, the series knows this is its strength. It utilizes it, even at the point of pandering. By now, nostalgia is almost considered a negative in the series, but when Generations released, it was fresh. It managed to take what worked in the past and made it work again. What was old was made new. And they succeeded. Even as a kid, I can remember at least one thing from each stage. From Green Hill Zone and all the different routes you could take, Chemical Plant, the Deja Vu cutscene, and the water and boosting on top of it. In Sky Sanctuary, I loved just how cool the lighting was, especially down the dark roads. Speed Highway's unforgettable start and hitching a ride on the helicopter. City Escape with just how crazy the gun truck got. Seaside Hill, once again with just how many routes through and over the water. Crisis City, the music, the city, and the tornado carrying the signpost. Rooftop Run, the sheer scale of the town, and the random standout memory of just sitting there and staring at Vector. And then in Planet Wisp, the beginning section and, of course, the Wisps. Honestly, the beginning part was the best part of the stage. I didn't really enjoy the rest as much. Across each of these stages, they managed to perfectly blend the original mechanics and style with enough new to make the overall experience still feel fresh. With so many different ways you can choose to go through each stage, even 10 years later each run is still enjoyable. Each of these stages were already iconic before, but Generations helped solidify them even further. I'd even say that some of these stages have even surpassed their originals, being, to me, the definitive way to play them. It helps that I think Generations has the best depiction of Sonic's personality in gameplay. All throughout, his actions and movements are full of life, and just makes the game a joy to watch. However, much of my praise for the game has been specifically directed at modern Sonic. But that's only half the game, as, of course, this marked Classic Sonic's debut as a separate playstyle. Classic Sonic is, at least in this game, a pretty great addition. However, I personally view him as the lesser of the two Sonics here. While playing stages such as City Escape in 2D is still a very novel idea, and I really enjoy many of the Act 1 music tracks, I find myself going back to classic Sonic much less than I do modern Sonic. His half of the game is still very good fun, however, I find better alternatives for his playstyle in Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Sonic Mania, where I believe his controls are tighter and his physics more balanced. However, Generations' identity is made by his inclusion, and his stages are still full of very clever and fun level design, and his and modern Sonic's interactions with their friends are still fun to watch. Through and through, across each recreated stage, many of the challenges, especially the ones including Sonic's friends, and the added little bonus content, Generations truly feels like a celebration of all that Sonic went through. The boss fights are grandiose, and the rival fights are just succinct enough to be perfectly replayable. Of course, this replayability can certainly be enhanced by... I'd be remiss not to bring up mods for at least a moment, because, man, the modding scene for Generations is unbelievable. From character swaps to new stages, Gens has some of the most abundant and highest quality mods throughout the Sonic franchise. Its support has really been incredible to see throughout the years. And so, with all of this out on the table, if you haven't played Generations yet, I implore you, definitely check it out. To me, it's the best game in the franchise, even surpassing some of my all-time favorites, like the adventure games and Mania. I really think it's a wonderful time. And so, with all of that, I really don't think it's any surprise we still think about Sonic Generations, even 10 years later.
Time to scramble some Eggman! Super Sonic!